everyone. Today we are joined by a good friend of mine, college teammate of mine. Do not be alarmed. He's not 12 years old. It is babyface Drew Pirritano. He is currently the coordinator of Lackawanna Park operations, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But kind of want to start off with just like your – I'm not going to go back to like how was T-ball, but like your kind of career. You're from Scranton, West Scranton, right?
Yep, West Scranton.
West Scranton. And just kind of like your high school experience, you guys had a pretty good program and stuff. So kind of want to talk about that. And what the hell was your guys' thing, Vader Ball?
Yeah, we used to do Vader Ball. That was big.
Yeah. So the Vader Ball, and then kind of getting your recruiting a little bit there too.
Yeah, absolutely. So I had a pretty good high school coach. He was a college baseball coach at Drexel, and then he also coached JUCO ball in Florida. I forget which school he was at, but he came up starting in 2008, which was my freshman year of high school, and he kind of implemented this thing called Vader Ball and whatnot. And he's a really good coach, and we ended up turning our program around pretty good for our high school. And I started as a junior and senior, and ended up playing pretty well as a junior, and then had a really good senior year. And so I started reaching out to some schools, and mostly D2 schools. I really wanted to play D2. I knew I wasn't going to play D1. I had the confidence level, like I thought I would, go do a good D2 school and, have a good career or whatever. But ended up reaching out to like Millersville, Shippensburg, Clarion, Bloomsburg a little bit. And then in my senior year, I also had Lackawanna Junior College, and then Frederick Community College in Maryland. So those are really the schools that I kind of, was going for, and then ended up visiting Clarion, and ended up going to Clarion ultimately. So,
right. So you came out and visited, when I would have been a junior, you were out for a visit. And what was it that because you committed pretty soon after that, what was it that kind of sold you on the greatest college in Pennsylvania?
Well, when you get a tour from the great Ben Thomas, Green Ellis, it's hard to say no to that. And then, the witty Mike Brown and all his jokes really, just got me. So ended up going to Clarion, and, don't have any regrets. Love the people I met there. Had a really good time in college, and, ultimately it set me up for, my career today. So. Right.
So you commit to Clarion. Now you have a pretty funny story that we got to tell about Lackawanna Junior College, one of the best junior colleges, definitely in, kind of our area, but really, in the country. I think they're a Division II junior college, but talk about that real quick.
So at first they really weren't interested in me at all, to be honest. Not a lot of schools were interested in me, to be upfront. And I ended up having a pretty good game in the district whatever champion. Or it wasn't a championship, it was the semifinals, the game before. And I ended up having like a good game. I hit like a home run off one of the kids that was going there. And so their assistant coach basically told my coach, he's like, hey, like, we'd like to have Drew, or is he interested in coming to Lackawanna? And at the time I was committed to Clarion. And so I was like, no, I'm committed to Clarion, and I'm going to stick with that. And like a week later, Coach Brown reached out to my head coach and was like, is Drew still coming to Clarion? And I was like, well, shit. I mean, at this point, I guess, so I ended up going there, but it was just kind of funny the whole way it turned out. So.
Right. What was that like, having to take your recruiting in your own hands? This was before travel ball was big. You played Legion ball was big when I was in school too and stuff, but like you didn't get a lot of colleges out recruiting for Legion ball and stuff like that. So what was that like, taking that recruiting in your own hands?
Honestly, it was frustrating. It was really frustrating because I knew I wanted to play college baseball so bad. Like, I mean, I literally, emailed so many coaches just to, get an opportunity. I didn't care if it was walk on, like, or just a spot, whatever, just give me an opportunity. And so, you know, it was tough, but like I said, I just, you know, I wanted it that bad. Like I wanted to play that bad. And, you know, I guess, you know, it's like anything. If you want it bad enough, you'll find somewhere and somebody will give you an opportunity. And luckily Clarion did give me an opportunity, to come there and play. And, you know, from there, I just tried to, you know, do my best to show that, you know, I belong there.
Right. No, I always say this kind of as a joke, but kind of serious. I started my coaching career while I was still playing in college. I had organized a lot of stuff with hitting and stuff like that when outside of practice. So I remember reaching out to kids on our team, everyone that was, and then trying to find the people that were coming in and emailing them and saying, hey, what's your class schedule so we can find times people can like link up and hit together and stuff. And you and Ben were the only ones that ever responded to me. So I knew that kind of you coming in, you know, you were interested in the game and you could tell that you wanted to learn and get better. I personally thought you should have been out there a lot more when you were a freshman, you know, on our team. I thought you should have a spot in the outfield. Was that frustrating for you, that kind of first year? Because I'm sure growing up, you probably weren't on teams where you sat and watched a lot. So was that a frustrating experience for you?
Yeah, it was absolutely frustrating. I mean, I wanted to play super bad. I'm not going to sit here and like sugarcoat it, but I think, you know, looking back, like I wasn't physically ready to play at that level. Like I think I would have came along nicely if I had gotten the chance as a freshman to get more time, but I really needed the weight room and stuff like that. And even though, you know, over the last couple of years, I put on a little bit of weight here and there, I think just that year sitting there and like really wanting to be out there really drove me for the next couple of years. Like the next year I wanted to prove that if I'm going to play, like they're not going to take me out of the lineup. Like, so in a way, you know, yeah, I was kind of upset about it, but at the same time, you know, it definitely made me hungrier when I did get the opportunity.
Right. I want to talk about a little bit about dealing with failure. You tried unsuccessfully for 3 straight years to break my stolen base record. What was that like trying to do that and always having to hear shit from me that you couldn't quite do it?
Well, I mean, I didn't have the number of attempts, so it was going to be kind of hard to break.
I had a better percentage than you did. I had better percentage. Don't start with that.
I mean, it sucked to hear it all the time. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. It sucked. I wanted it bad. I'm not going to lie.
You tried to force it.
I did at times. Yeah, there were times where I, definitely probably went for a bag that I had no business getting.
So I used to laugh about thinking like, that fucker, they're getting beat 8-1 in the 6th inning, and he's at first. He's thinking about me trying to break my record. I'm fucking however far away. I'm not even there, but I'm swimming in that dome. He's trying to break my record. So I used to laugh about that.
Jump, you know.
What's that?
There, so I'm just trying to get a good jump.
Right. Yeah. So you finish up playing, you know, your college career playing at Clarion. You coached for us, you know, for a year, helped out a little bit. You got into coaching for a grad assistant, kind of doing both, but with softball. What was that kind of transition like to going over to softball? Did it feel like a completely different game to you?
I mean, it's definitely a different game. But you know, I mean, the fundamentals of the game are pretty much the same. So teaching it wasn't like an issue at all. I think that sometimes, you know, motivation is tough. I think girls honestly tend to take, and you know, this is no shot, they just tend to take their academics a lot more seriously than guys, and guys kind of have that vision of the next level and things like that. So you kind of have to understand the balance there. And then obviously, you know, the pitching is a little different in softball as well. You know, you can ride a pitcher to a championship, really.
Right.
A good D2 school, you know, you can have one pitcher and she could dominate. So that's a little bit different. But for the most part, I mean, the fundamentals of the game are the same. So it wasn't really too much, you know, wasn't really too different.
Right. So you're there for what, 2 years, right?
3. So I did my 5th year. I started my 5th year coaching, and then my 2 grad school years. So 3 years with the team.
Okay. So you're there for 3 years. And then you started off, you got in a job with the Pirates. So how did that come about? Like, how did you get involved with the Pirates? Was it just like apply for it, or did you have a connection, or how did that come?
Didn't really have a connection. My parents moved to Orlando, and I moved down here after I got done with grad school, which was like May or June, and just was looking for jobs left and right. And I saw an internship with the Pirates down at Pirate City in Bradenton. Just thought I'd throw my name in there, see what happened. Actually, the new head baseball coach at Clarion, the last year I was there, Anthony Williams, had done a little work with the Pirates. He was like their video coordinator in the big leagues for a little bit, or assistant video coordinator, I think his role was. And so I asked him if he knew anybody there. He said he recognized names. He didn't really know anybody, but, I listed him as a reference. I'm not sure if they ever really reached out to him or not, but I ended up, just submitting my resume, and my supervisor, who ended up being my supervisor, Spencer Fogel, gave me a call, and, he offered me the job like a week later, and I couldn't turn it down. Went down there and ended up, just working hard and, trying to make a name for myself, really.
Right. I remember asking you one time when you first started, I'm like, well, what do you do? And you said literally everything that nobody else wants to do.
Yeah, it was a lot of hard work, a lot of work that people didn't want to do. And, they kind of like, they really let you kind of shape yourself, which is really neat. That's why I love the organization, honestly. Like, they let you, they're not afraid to promote interns, things like that. And, that's a testament to them. And, just worked hard, and, and ended up paying off.
Right. So you're currently the coordinator of Lecom Park operations. So explain what the hell that is.
Yeah, so it's a little more on the administrative side of the game. It's not so much to do with like what happens on the field. So I coordinate a lot of the stuff at the ballpark, any kind of maintenance that goes on there. I help coordinate that. I flip the signage every year, so any of the wall signs that need to be updated, or any of the sponsorships around the park, things like that, I get those flipped, working with the signage company. I'm in charge of like the game day staff, so anywhere from ticket takers to ushers to, I assist with the security, the setup for the games, all that kind of stuff. And then I also am like an event manager for any supplemental events we do there. It's quite a bit of stuff. Like, I literally, just like I said with my old position, doing all this different stuff. It's kind of how it is with the ballpark. It's just a coordinator level.
Right. Now, where does this go for you? Because when you first got out of school, you were big on coaching. You have a passion for it. You're really knowledgeable. I mean, you always soaked up stuff that you learned, whether it was us playing or coaching from me or my dad being around and stuff. So you always had a big passion for that, and now it seems like you really enjoy this kind of front office role. Where do you see this going in the future?
So kind of funny story. When I applied for this job, or for the internship, I should say, I actually had an assistant coaching opportunity with Ave Maria, which is an NAIA school down near Fort Myers. Yep. And it came down to whether I wanted to move down there and coach softball, or take this position. And I just felt like this was the career path that I wanted to take, like an administrative front office kind of role, and really just work my way in an organization and try to work my way to the top, really, honestly. And that's kind of so far how it's gone. And I just really like the administrative side. I think it relates to outside of the game of baseball as well. So it can translate if I, end up eventually not wanting to be in baseball anymore, or, even just, working my way up in the front office. I just feel like it's the best path for my career right now.
Right. Proper answer was future GM of the Pirates. What's up that one? So, what's that?
That'd be nice.
Yeah. Right. So, is it now you're not really involved with the baseball side of it anymore? You said you had that 1 year where you were kind of more on that side, and now you're on the behind the scenes, the making sure the game runs smooth as far as in the stands, kind of, and stuff like that. But is it still nice, even though you're not directly involved with the, the field side? Just when you go to work every day, your office is a a baseball stadium. You know, how cool is that experience?
I mean, it's unbelievable. It's everything that I've ever wanted in a job, honestly. I have some super cool bosses, supervisors that, you know, they're really personable people, and you know, they understand that it's fun, it's a privilege to work in the game, but like, you know what I mean? Like there's times this year where, you know, we have a spring training away game, and I walk out of my office and I just walk up to the concourse and I'm watching like Josh Bell take BP, Polanco take BP, like just seeing the ball come off their bat. Like it, you know, yeah, it sucks not being involved in the game actually, but you know, it still has its rewards, I think, and you know, I'm forever grateful for the Pirates for giving me that opportunity.
Right. Speaking of, minor league baseball is a lot of fun. I mean, there's a lot more. Major League Baseball, you know, they're competing, they're trying to win. Minor league baseball is more of an experience. You know, it's, you know, they do the fun stuff, innings stuff. Is that one of your nights on your shirt there?
Yeah. So this is actually the Bradenton Barba Negras. It's a Copa brand for the Bradenton Marauders. If you look up Copa, MILB Copa brand, it will literally show you. I think almost every team, just about in minor league baseball, does a Latin. It's like a Latin heritage kind of thing.
Okay.
And this is our team. So like 5 games out of the Marauder season, we flip the stadium into like Bradenton Barba Negras, like outfitted and everything like that. The players wear those kind of uniforms and stuff. So it's really neat. I got to experience it last year, and hoping that we get to this year again. But yeah, it's like I said, look it up. I think we have one of the cooler logos in baseball too, MILB.
It's not like too far. Like some people take the stuff like,
yeah,
it's insane. Like, you know, some of the stuff they come up with. But do you guys, is that like a certain, like every Tuesday home game or something like that? I know some people do stuff like that, or you're just kind of like a 5 days straight throughout the year.
It's not 5 days straight. It's like it's like once a month.
Okay.
Falls on different days. They kind of do it on different promotional nights too.
Right.
Like I said, it's just a cool initiative that minor league baseball is doing, and like I said, a lot of teams are doing it. If you Google it, it's a pretty neat thing for sure.
Right. So what's this kind of the whole, you know, coronavirus? I ask everybody how their training's going, and you're in a little different role, but like, how does this affect you? Are you kind of just on hold where you're waiting to hear what's going to go on? You can't really do anything until then?
Yeah, I don't have too much information on anything really. I've been doing a lot of projects around the ballpark, things that I started my position in August, this past August. So there was a lot of things that I didn't get to do because I was learning the position right away. So utilizing this time to, you know, do little projects that I, you know, have wanted to get done. And then also just doing a lot of professional development. This is an opportunity, just like anything, to get better. So, you know, if you're not getting better, you're getting worse.
Who said that? Michael Scott from The Office?
Me. Me.
Yeah. Wise words of Mike Brown you're learning there.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, I really do apologize about you never catching me in the stolen base record.
I know it. I honestly, to this day.
Did we tie for total career?
Do I have? No, we have the same total. Like you did it in 2 years, I did it in 3, but
4.
we have
You were there for 4 years.
Yeah, I know. I didn't start my freshman year, so.
Well, if you would have played a little better, you would have started.
Yeah, that's true. That's all on me. If I came in a little more physically ready to play, maybe.
Yeah, I'm just worried with the long-term mental effects of that on you.
I mean, it's tough, but at the end of the day, I can still say I have the same amount, so total. So.
Yeah, but you had it in 4 years. I had it in 2, where half my one season I had a pulled hamstring.
I had a pulled hamstring too.
No, you didn't. That was in summer ball. So.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, I appreciate. Anybody that doesn't know, we were supposed to start this currently 11 o'clock. We started the Zoom call at 8:30. We've just been telling bullshitting and telling stories for 2
Oh,
hours
man.
before we started. So it,
So,
it feels like a 2.5-hour episode, but it's only about 20 minutes. But it was cool to see like that side of, kind of what goes on. I don't think people always think about like there's someone that's coordinating to make sure this all is like a good experience for the fans and stuff. And it's cool. I'm excited to see you kind of keep moving up. Obviously, it'd be cool to see you get in even if you say in the, the administrative side, but like more involved with the baseball. I think you got a good mind for what goes on and stuff. And so I think that'd be cool to kind of watch you, keep moving up and moving through the ranks. So good luck to you in the future. And hopefully you'll be in Pittsburgh one day and you can finally get them turned around instead of that idiots they got there now.
Appreciate it, man.
I know you can't comment on that, but I can throw a little dig in there. So thanks for your time. I appreciate it. And I'm sure we'll stay in touch about when Penn State gets a good football recruit. I'll send you a message.
Hey, national champs this year if we play.
Probably not.
Hopefully. Beating Bam.
Probably going to be Clemson.
Yeah, it's hard to argue that. So.
Yeah. So, all right, man. Well, I appreciate the time, and I'm sure I'll talk to you soon.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
All right. We'll see you.
See you.